So let's get into this, right? Let's talk about these routes. Let's talk about the first one I bought, which was my Pepperidge Farm snack route. Now there's Pepperidge Farm bread routes, there's Pepperidge Farm snack routes. And there's also a thing called combo routes where you can do both, right? For me, I had a snack route. So I didn't sell bread, I sold goldfish crackers that the kids eat, right? And then I sold Milano cookies, anything that has that Pepperidge Farm logo on it, in the snack aisle. That's what I sold. I bought a route in San Diego. I was working at a Vaughn's grocery store at the time. I started in 2007, bagging groceries, worked my way up where I was running a night crew. Doing the planning for the weekly ads, ordering product, inventory. I ran the frozen department, the dairy box. Did that for many years. I was in charge of 3 different stores. Over the years, I opened up a brand new store from the ground up, put it together, learned a ton of information, learned a lot about the retail space that I never knew anything about. I'm not a college educated guy. I'm a school dropout. I hated school with a passion when I was a kid, and I did not enjoy it. Fast forward today, I love learning more than ever, right? I just didn't enjoy it as a kid. Many reasons to get into all that nonsense later, right? Some people know me, know my story, but a lot of people don't, and we can get into that later, right? But anyways, bought the cookie route from a guy that used to service my store. He would come through the back door, and he would stock the shelves, and he'd come to me and, hey Josh, I got this on sale this week, can I get some space, can I get a display? I said, absolutely, man, you got stuff on sale, man. We're trying to make money, we're trying to push volume in this store. You just keep it full and make sure it's not make sure it's not full price when next week comes down, right? And he's like, yeah, I'll take care of it. So anyways, guy took care of my store, right? Hell of a dude. I ended up buying my first route from him. He wasn't selling at the time, but I called him up a couple years later, and he remembered who I was, and he says, yeah, I remember you, Josh. You always took care of me. I remember the ones that take care of me. And I attribute that to a lot of my success was just being a good dude, right? Just treating people right, like you're supposed to. Don't be a fucking asshole. Some people are assholes, and obviously I'm not going to deal with them, but it doesn't mean I got to come off as an asshole to people. And it changed my life. He sold me his business, his route. And you buy a route, right, from a set territory. So everything in that territory is yours to sell to. So I bought a route in San Diego. It came with 6 large grocery stores. It came with a Target, 2 Vaughn's, a Ralph's, a Smart & Final, and a Stater Brothers grocery store in San Diego. And then it had a large cash stop that I would do once a week. And then it had like 3 or 4 other, cash stops that I would do once a month or every 2-3 weeks, depending on, how busy it was, the time of year and all that nonsense. But the cookie route, right, changed my life, because now I went from working for this, company, company guy, union guy, and I hated the union. I'm not a union guy by any means, But anyways, bought the cookie route. I was able to double my income, overnight by buying that route. Wasn't cheap. I had debt on it. I had to buy a truck. There's some expenses that come with that stuff, right? Because now you're independent. You got to buy all that stuff yourself. Learning curve and all that stuff too, right? But I put my head down and I learned. I forced myself to learn. Shared a warehouse with 3 other guys. Learned all that process. But Pepperidge Farm, they pay you 20% commission. Sorry, I've been sick last week. They pay you 20% commission on what you sell. So for example, easy math, right? If I sell $10,000 a week in sales to my route, to my stores collectively, $10,000 in sales, right? They're going to pay me 20%, so that means I get $2,000 a week the next week, right? That's what I make. That's $100,000 a year, people. That's a lot of money for a lot of people. For me, growing up, where I did, that was life-changing money for me. I never thought in my wildest imagination I'd be making $100,000 a year, especially like going to school, right? I'm a convicted felon, high school dropout, Iraq War veteran, all this stuff. I hated school, but here I'm making $100,000 a year. Now I got to take out expenses and stuff, of course, but You know, I was making 100,000 a year. I was generating 100,000 a year in income. You know, I was like, wow, this is crazy, right? You know, I got excited, man. I was like, man, what else can I do, right? What else is in this store that I don't even know about that I could do like this, right? Well, I bought that cookie route. I ran that cookie route for about a year and a half, and I started getting bored because now I was working, you know, again, I worked in the stores for 7 years. I knew how to stock shelves, like with the best of them, right? I mean, I was quick, I was efficient, fast, and I was no wasted movements, right? So I was running the whole store, and I was running one little 3-foot section on the cookie aisle, and I doubled my income. I was like, man, this is amazing, right? I'm working 20, 25 hours a week, making twice as much money as I was working 40 hours working in the store. Just didn't make sense to me. It took me a while to wrap my mind around it, but that's what it was. And you know, and then I bought, through relationships, you know, from other people, I bought another route. But let's talk about the cookie route for this one in this video. Cookie route, you know, I had a truck, you know, I had a 1988 step van. You know, it was phenomenal conditioning. You know, it came with the route, so I didn't have truck payment. Held, you know, a ton of inventory in it. It's all set up. The guy I bought it from, I bought it brand new in '88, so he kept the thing running forever. Beautiful truck, you know what I mean? I enjoyed driving that thing, man. It was a dinosaur looking, but it was cool. That's what I used to service the route. Again, I warehouse with 3 other guys. I would get a load from Pepperidge Farm once a week on Wednesdays. You know, I had a handheld scanner, if you will. Took it home with me. Had a Bluetooth printer with it, so I would make my own invoices and, you know, and stuff there. Have my inventory on the scanner, and then I would just write my orders that I would get from Utah, from Pepperidge Farm. You know, just sitting on my couch on Saturday night. You know, I'll take 10 of these, 4 of these, 12 of these, and, you know, 40 of these, whatever it is, right? You know, so I ordered, you know, 250 cases a week, right, whatever, and then it would get shipped to me the next Wednesday. And then I just keep inventory in my warehouse, and then I keep inventory in my truck. So collectively, I got inventory in 2 spots. So when my truck inventory got low, I just go load up from the warehouse and then just put it back in my truck, and then load, come back to the warehouse, and it was just rinse and repeat. And then I would take it out of the truck into the stores, right? And that's just how it works. And then once I get, you know, load up my truck, you know, typically I'd start at like, you know, 5, 6 in the morning. You know, when the receiving door opens in the back, I go inside, take my scanner with me, right? Go up to the aisle, write up what I need, right? Just push everything back. I take 4 of these, 6 of these, 10 of these, 12 of these, 24 of these, 48 of these, whatever it is, right? Go back out to my truck, and then I print a pick list on my Bluetooth printer, and then just start building my order in my truck, right? Just whatever it said, whatever I just typed into my scanner, I just, you know, put it in a box. Once I had everything done, I put it on my cart, my little dolly, and then I take it to the receiver. You know, he would check me in, verify what I'm bringing into his, you know, to the store, matched up. You know, once it did, you know, you sign my invoice or give me a printout, or, you know, whatever, however the protocol is for that store. And then, yeah, so if I took in $1,000 to Target, yeah, now I'm at $1,000 for the week. Okay, what do I take in tomorrow? I take another $1,000 in. Okay, great. Now I'm at 2,000. Okay, Target ends at 4,000 for a week. Okay, now I take 4,000 into Target this week. That means I get $800 from what I sold to Target. Easy math, right? And then again, I had all these other stores, and then yeah, and I would build displays. You know, I'd get communication from Pepperidge Farm, stating what's on sale and what's not on sale, so I could plan ahead for the weeks to come and talk to the key decision makers at the stores and try to maximize my sale of my product, right? I don't want to just live off the shelf. I want to push displays, and I want to push a lot of displays. The more product I sell, the more money I make. You know, I was aggressive with it. I tried to be, you know, maximizing everything I could. I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, I know a lot of owner operators like, I hate displays. It's more work. It's not worth it. Yes and no. You know, agree to disagree. You know, I'm not telling anybody how to run their shit, but, you know, I've always had success with pushing stuff, and store managers, you know, they enjoy it because they make bonuses, and, you know, on what their stores do and sales and stuff, you know. So just understanding, you know, certain aspects of the business of what to be successful and what not to be successful is huge. But yeah, still own that cookie route to this day. I live in Texas. I have a great guy running my route in San Diego. Phenomenal dude. He's been running for a few years. I've known him for many, many years before that. I've known his dad for many years. And the guy does a hell of a job. I never have to worry about a thing. He's consistent every week with his numbers. I don't get calls from stores. I don't get calls from the company. And it's a beautiful situation, man. I can't complain. You know, my guy's a hell of a dude and does a great job. But yeah, that's a little bit about my Pepperidge Farm cookie route. You know, I know that's pretty high level. That, you know, I get it more and more detail and everything. But I just want to make some videos and just kind of talking about, you know, my process and my success with these routes. And I'll make more videos about the other routes too. Thanks, guys.